Welcome in. I am the Crypto Bull God, and this is All in the Charts. If you appreciate the content, make sure to hit the thumbs up button. Drop me a comment and click that little bell icon for all notifications to know when I go live each and every single weekday. Guys, happy Monday. Happy Monday. I'm in such a good mood today, although I was not earlier today. I'm in a really good mood today because the Philadelphia Eagles are going to demolish the Atlanta Falcons on Monday Night Football. And I have to be PC at work, but this is not the work environment. We all wear different hats in different environments. It's not BDN. It's Big Dick Nick. It is Nick Foles night in Philadelphia, and I am planning on putting on the TV pretty early and reliving. I'm also going to be listening to sports radio, reliving a lot of very fond memories of Super Bowl 52. I remember that day oh so well. Had an incredible time celebrating that Super Bowl victory. Barely slept that night. I played Queen We Are the Champions on repeat about 5,000 times at the gym the next day. I couldn't get over that the Eagles won the Super Bowl. So, very special night. They're going to be honoring Nick Foles today. They should retire the man's number. And, just really excited for the game. I'm not going to be able to stay up for the whole game. Truth be told, guys. I'm not a late night guy. So, I will watch probably the first quarter or maybe the first half. And then I'll wake up early tomorrow morning and then catch the rest of the game. So, I hope that's what's going on in my world. I hope everybody is having a good day. Price action is a little poopy today, but we're gonna take a look at how the week closed out. We're also going to answer the question: who's winning, Bulls or Bears? There's sort of this tug of war that we've been talking about for a while. Going on within the market, depending upon what charts you look at, which is great. It's why it's so great to have a macro high time frame view, and why I still feel uber confident that we're going to have a very bullish fourth quarter of this year going into 2025. If we top in the first half of 25, we top in the second half of 25. Hell, we top in early 26. That's a moot point. The point is we're going to be very bullish entering 2025, in my opinion. But these past several months, there's been some charts that have created some muckiness within the market. So we'll kind of simplify our lives, as we always do on this channel, and we'll just ask the question whether or not who's winning right now, the Bulls or the Bears. And I'm going to answer that question on today's live stream. Ugos, welcome in. Todd, you are the fucking man. Super chats are never expected. But always appreciated, kind sir. There was something else I was going to mention and I forget. But hey, let's get into the price action. So the first thing I actually want to take a look at with you guys, this is the same chart that I kept up here from the live stream we did last week, kind of talking about the weekly price action and a lot of similarities we're seeing in August through September of this year relative to 2020 and 2016. We had taken a look at that. Now, what I am interested in is I thought I had a better weekly chart we could take a look at, but we can still use this. Let me very quickly see if I have another weekly. I feel like I need to really clean up my trading view. No. I think this chart is crap. Oh no, this is a good chart. Okay, let's stick with this chart. Let's get off this one. Okay. So we have a lot of areas of price confluence here. You can see we're going to have to flip this guy to red. Okay, great. So you can see right now on the weekly, I want to assess, because obviously we had a candle weekly close on Sunday at 8 p.m. So I want to take a look at, how did last week close out? Because we know we saw some bullish momentum coming back into the market. So let's have a conversation about that. So the first thing we can very easily see here this prior week, last week when we closed out, we got a bullish engulfing candle, which is great to see. Great to see, right? You got the body of the green here encapsulating the prior candlestick, the red body here. Okay, bullish engulfing. Now, what would be nice to see this week is, the fact that we're red right now, guys, we're 1 day into the week. So let us not allow today's price action to dictate the entire week. I always exercise patience on this channel. Okay, I would love to see us get a close at or above this $60,000 area. You can see that's a major area of resistance for us right now. But the other thing that we want to take a look at here, let's take a look at first the RSI. Now, one of the things we've been tracking very closely here is this descending area of resistance on the RSI, right? It's expressing weakness in the relative strength, which is not what we want to see. Guys, thumbs up. I need the engagement for the YouTube algorithm. Please, for the love of God, hit the thumbs up. So we have some descending resistance here that you can see we're really having some problems getting above. Now, the key area we want to get above, and we've spent so much time talking about this, 54. We want the relative strength index to eventually get back above 54 and then eclipse 70. That's what we're looking for. Because historically, again, when we've broken below 70 and then broken below 54, we have seen some significant downside in price action. So that is what we did here back in July of 2024. Since then, we broke all the way down here to $49,000. So we'd like to see some confirmation of the relative strength index that we truly are beginning to see some bullish momentum pick back up to the upside. And the way the relative strength index is going to signal that to us is to break this black descending area of resistance right here. Okay? Break this black area of descending resistance, and then start to push back above 54 and push back above 70. Now, not only will it be very bullish once the relative strength index eventually gets back above 70, but we're also going to be negating all these lower highs coming in here, okay? If we take a look at the MACD, I like what I'm seeing in the MACD because what the MACD is attempting to do here is avoid a negative cross down below zero, which is right here, and it's trying to flatten out here. You can see the histogram is starting to turn a lighter red, which is great to see. So we'll have to see how this week develops. And then if we look at the stochastic RSI, again, bullish confirmation for us. We've had a few fake outs, but we did spend quite a bit of time. Oh, I love that someone actually unliked the live stream. This is awesome. You have a channel with low engagement, you got a couple people hitting the thumbs up, and then you got one jackass who clicks off the thumbs up. Thank you to that one person. I appreciate you very much. One of the things we spoke about last week was to see the stochastic RSI on the weekly cross above 20 and then look to the 2-week to see that stochastic RSI cross above 20. Once we have both, we can feel very confident that we're going to see some bullish momentum ensue within the market. Right now, we're trying to get this weekly to get back above 20. Right now we're at 16. So if we can get a push up in price, okay, at or above 60 to close for the week, my hunch is this stochastic RSI is going to cross above 20. So we'll have to keep an eye on that. Any key moving averages, 200's all the way down there. 50, we're still above the 50 simple moving average, okay? We're not above the 20. We're below the 20. So we're right in between the 20 and 50 simple moving average at the moment. Certainly don't want to lose the 50 simple moving average. I'm sure if we go back in time, anytime we've lost the 50 simple moving average as support, yeah, it has not been pretty. You can see here, I don't really need to go into great detail. Anytime you've seen these candle bodies close below the purple line, it has not been good. So very, very good to see that we're at least maintaining price levels. Now, again, we're not talking about price works. We're talking about candle bodies. Very good to see that we're seeing price action stay at or above this $54,000, $55,000 area. Now, let's take a look at some of the more immediate price action going on. Let's take a look at some of these markets here. Mid caps are down. See what else we got. Orca's doing a nice job of holding up. Towel's down 5%. What the hell happened to Root? 2 cents. Ay, ay, ay. Casper is down 11% almost. For those that don't think, I just gotta pull up a chart. This is the most god-awful chart. Sorry to do this if anybody here owns Casper. We're going to take a look at it now that I see it's down 11%. I don't think this thing has a prayer left to hold on to a penny. It's amazing the amount of nonsense in this market. People are not willing to exercise logic. How can you be bullish on this? This is a 10-day chart. Let's go to a weekly. Oh, dear Lord. If this level here breaks at 1.6 cents, the floodgates may open to go much lower. So I'll send a prayer out to anyone who's still holding that piece of shit. Still holding that token. Okay, so let's take a look at more of the low time frame price action going on Bitcoin. Now, I am going to speak to what I'm seeing in the 12-hour chart, and then I'm also going to, at the end of that, share with you who I believe is winning and why. Okay, it's not my subjective opinion. I think it's objective. Who's winning, the bulls or bears? Okay, who is winning, the bulls or bears? Now, right now, one of the most basic observations to make on this chart, we have a higher low. We got the higher low. But we have lower high. We need price action to push all the way back up convincingly above this area. We have spent a lot of time talking about 65,600. Okay, 65,600. Thumbs up for everyone new tuning in. Once we can get above, and if we can do it relatively in shorter order within the next couple weeks, to avoid going below here. Let me formulate my thoughts here. I don't think I'm doing a good job communicating this. What we want to see with price action, ultimately, okay? We want to stay above the blue line. The blue line here, the low is at 52.5. We're just going to say 52,000. Well, actually, we'll be specific here. 52,005 since we're on a low time frame. 52,546. So what I'm saying is prices could come all the way back down here to this area of support at 55,000. We're still fine. We could come down here at 53.8 and get a little dangerous. We could even double tap, although I really don't want to see that at 52.5. If we lose 52,546, what we are doing, we still have a higher low, right? You know, we could still come down to here, and we still have a higher low. But what we are inviting is a heightened risk and opportunity for prices to break this level here. That's not what we want to see. Right now, we're attempting to build the foundation for a bullish reversal to the upside. And the only way to do that is to structurally, within the chart, build higher highs and higher lows. We don't want to destroy the little bit of bullish price action that has come in on this chart. These two higher lows, I don't want to see that invalidated as a bull. Okay, don't want to see that. We can come, again, we got this, we got this, we got this. Now we want to see You know how sometimes random thoughts just cross your head? Why did I just think about spaghetti and meatballs? What's that all about? I'm here charting for you guys. I'm looking at... Was it something about the circles? Literally, as I'm about to draw this circle, the thought of spaghetti and meatballs just went through my head. What the fuck, man? What the fuck? I'm a different cat. All right, so what we want to do is this, eventually. Get up here, right? I'm going to draw some squigglies here. Let's draw this as a different line. We could come all the way down here, and we're fine, right? Because this higher low is still intact, okay? So 52,546. So long as we stay above that 52,546, the bullish structure that we're attempting to build in this chart has remained intact, okay? And then we eventually want to start to break above 65.6 and get up here, right? Then we can come up into this area. Now we have this going on. Very, very nice, okay? Now we have a higher degree of confidence that we truly are in the midst of a bullish reversal to the upside. So I am going to, and is there anything on the price indicators here? I'm going to answer the question right now of who is winning, bulls or bears. On the lower time frame on this 12-hour chart, the bears are in control. It's not what I want to see going on, but it's just objectively something called reality. What am I painting here? Well, clearly, I'm painting the true definition of a bearish trend. Lower lows and lower highs. Okay, so you can't debate this. On a lower time frame scale, the bears are winning. However, on a higher time frame scale, the bulls are winning. And why do I say that? Even though, yes, we have lower highs coming in here, and we have lower lows coming in here, we cannot lose sight, ladies and gentlemen. We cannot lose sight. Damn, low engagement today. For the love of God, will you hit the thumbs up button for me? I hate asking for people to engage, but it's the only way my channel is going to reach more people. We cannot lose sight of the higher time frame view, which enables us to see with transparency, okay? With a clear vision of what is going on here on the view that we should be most honed in on. And that is, ever since we bottomed, remember, Bitcoin was going to $5,000 here. We have a low, we have a high, we have a higher low, and then we have a higher high, and we have a higher low right here, right? We still have the basic building blocks of a bullish narrative. So, the answer to the question, are the bulls and bears winning? It's sort of a mucky mixed response, just like the market's very mucky and mixed right now. On the lower time frame views, the bears are winning. On the higher time frame views, the bulls are winning. Now, what I will say, and I've said this on this channel repeatedly, that low time frame action eventually bleeds into the high time frame views. So if we continue to remain bearish on a low time frame view, eventually that really will bleed over into the high time frame view, and then as bulls we're fucked, right? So what we want to see on the low time frame view is we want to see things begin to turn around. This 12-hour chart, everything that I just spoke to, we want to see that play out. That's going to bleed into the daily, then the 3-day, and then that will bleed into the high time frame views, which are already bullish, but will result in an increased momentum to the upside and more bullish momentum. Okay, so really, it's important as an investor. I think the most important views you can pay particular attention to are the higher time frame views. A weekly chart, a 2-week chart, a monthly chart, a 2-month chart, a 3-month chart. But when you have this sort of, and again, I think it's the worst thing that can happen to the market isn't a swift correction that was even deeper than this and a recovery. it's this long drawn out process that Bitcoin has a tendency to do. We're at like 6 months right now, right? Now this should break one way or the other relatively soon, right? Whether it's to the downside or upside, and you know, obviously for all the reasons I've shared in past live streams, if you haven't been here, you have some catch up to do, why I feel uber confident we're going to be breaking to the upside. And this has been a clear, this to me, for so many different reasons that I've shared with you guys, is a clear sign of consolidation to me. This is not distribution. We're not distributing here. We're consolidating. Okay, there's accumulation going on, not distribution. But we have to, again, I guess where I was going with that thought is it's most important to stay with the high time frame views. But when you have this level of muckiness going on, paying attention to the low time frame views and what's going on is actually important as well. This is, again, I want you to really, to the best of your ability, remember emotionally, okay, how the past couple months have felt. Okay, this time period right now. This, by definition, is what truly makes it difficult to succeed in this market. We like to evaluate past data and go back in time and say, well, it was obvious we were bottoming here. We saw some bullish divergence on the RSI and blah, blah, blah. The emotions in 2022 at the end of the year were running very high. It was the end of the world, and Bitcoin, unnamed analysts were saying that Bitcoin was going to $5,000 or lower. I think I saw $3,000, right? It's very difficult to do the logical thing and buy at these levels, but it's so obvious when we go back in hindsight. I very much feel like the same thing will be said true about this price action. Eventually, we're going to break to the upside and continue going much, much higher. Possibly well above $100,000 next year, okay? Depends how long this bull cycle is going to last. And we'll just have to stay on top of price action. But I think this is going to be one of these periods. You look back, and this is sort of like a blip in the radar. In the moment, it's very emotional for people, especially those, even for someone like myself who's been in this market for a while. There is an emotional element to it where it's like, oh, Christ, I feel like I know what the end game is. Like, can we just get there? This is just so drawn out. Like, even I feel it. But for somebody who's relatively newer to the market or who hasn't been here long, this is like a slow death for many of you, okay? We also tend to have a younger demographic. I feel like I may be the wise old man in this space. For being a 42-year-old guy in this space, I'm on the older side of a lot of technical analysts in this space. But you have youth too in this space, which, you know, tend to have a different mindset. So you have a lot of impatience going on. But to me, this is going to be a blip in the radar, short period of time when we look back on this in 2025. You know, and I was thinking to myself, I don't know and no one knows, and we'll just have to, I don't want to put the cart before the horse here. We'll have to allow the price action to develop and see where we are 6 months from now. But historically speaking, if we do something similar to times past, you can expect the fourth quarter, the first quarter, and then the majority of the second quarter, in particular for altcoins, to be very bullish. And if we're going to not see a blow off top in the first half, if we're actually going to go well into the second half, you know, you can expect that June downturn, July, August, September, and then for things to pick back up in October next year. And again, I don't want to get ahead of myself, but there's no reason that the market couldn't top out in the first half of next year. And that's why I always find a way to bring it back to this. And that is why it's important to have a sell strategy based on a handful of historical indicators that signal impulsive tops. Because we don't know when the market is going to top. We don't know at what price level the market is going to top. Unless somebody out there is farm gauging, which I've begun just blocking people. I've just begun blocking people. I see people posting XRP going to $40. You're blocked. I just can't see this shit on my timeline, okay? We don't, okay? $40. We haven't even cleared $3. $40. Woo! You're going to see Bitcoin $500,000 calls. We have to stay rational. And that's why we don't know where we're going to top or when we're going to top. Maybe we top in December of this year. Possibility. There's no reason that there's no reason that Bitcoin couldn't have a blow-off top in December of this year. There's no reason it couldn't be March of next year or April of next year. There's no reason it couldn't be November of 2025. That is why we're relying on impulsive top indicators, and a handful of them, because we're not going to count on every single indicator firing for us. We're going to allow the majority to begin to signal to us, wow, this is really overheated, and it's smart, based on history, to begin selling, right? It's going to, here's the other thing I would share with you, and I was going to post this out at one point, and then I think I just forgot to. If during this downturn, if anything during this reaccumulation phase, if my bullish, I guess you could call it bias, but I hate using that word in this sense because I guess it's applicable. I just don't want it to come off wrong. My bullish bias based on education. If my bullish bias has annoyed you during this reaccumulation, you're going to be annoyed the fuck out. You're going to be even annoyed so much more when I am bearish, when everyone is fucking screaming and going nuts and euphoric and bullish. Because I will turn bearish at the appropriate time when I think the market is nearing a top. The name of the game to succeed in this market is not to kid yourself and exercise hubris. It is to recognize that you're not going to outsmart the market, and you have to have a successful strategy to prosper. I've shared with you guys, I know the pain of 2021. On digits, my account value was worth so much. But how much I actually sold and profited from it was a different story, right? I'm not going to repeat those same mistakes again, and I don't want to see anyone here make a similar mistake. You have to have a successful sell strategy. And the other thing that I have been signaling to you guys, it's not about calling a perfect top. I actually think if you call a perfect top, it's one of the worst things that can happen to you because it's luck, okay? It's not about calling a perfect top. It's about selling out at logical levels to profit, right? Maybe Bitcoin tops at $128,000, right? And your average sell was 110 or 105. So what? You missed it by 10 or 15%. So what? You profited handsomely if you've been buying at any of these levels down here, right? And you should have made a fortune based on your initial investment, right? That's what it's about. And I refuse to allow myself to make the same or similar mistakes as I did in 2021. It's not happening this time. I have a different sell strategy, and like a robot, unemotionally, I'm sticking to it no matter how emotionally I feel in the moment. In fact, I do strongly feel, okay, and this should make sense, that when I do end up selling, and I'll share with you guys when things begin to trigger, as I begin to sell my investments, part of it should feel uncomfortable. Why do I say that? Because the emotion within the market is going to be so euphoric that you're going against the grain. You're being a contrarian, and it's going to feel a little uncomfortable. Part of me knows that I'll be on the right track selling if it feels uncomfortable. If it feels uncomfortable, probably a good sign that I'm selling at a good level. If I'm following all of my data points that have led me to that point. Let's see who else we have in the live stream. James, good to see you, man. I haven't seen you here a little bit. It's been a rough day. I'm still trying to become emotional. Oh man, it's not that bad out there, is it? It's not that bad. Ooh, what's up 33%? Oh, mint layer. small. Jesus. Unless you're a Casper holder, I guess, right? Binance is down. You know, Binance, interestingly enough, guys, BNB is one of the absolute strongest majors this year and last year. Let's take a look at this chart real quick. Very, very strong chart. Yeah, we technically, I mean, we triple topped here, but we technically created a new all-time high, but, oh, excuse me. Wow, that came out of nowhere. Yeah, but this has been a stronger performer. You can see where, I mean, they say TA doesn't work. There's a clear area of support here right around 500 that we've, you know, I haven't looked at this chart in a while, clearly gravitated towards. And you can see right now, wow, we bottomed out here in June of 22, and we respected that. Check this out. Very strong chart. Very strong chart. Yeah. Higher highs, higher lows. It's looking good. Purple. All right, who else do we have here? Thava, welcome in. Today is not TA Q&A. Tomorrow will be. And actually, for tomorrow's live stream, I do anticipate being here closer to the normal time that I live stream. I had a late meeting today and a little bit of work to do afterwards, but I would anticipate live streaming tomorrow around 5 p.m. Eastern Standard Time, so I should be here right around normal time, 5:15, whatever. So we'll do TA Q&A then. Track, it's nice to see you. Same with Donkey. And TM, hola. Guys, that's all I had for you today. Tomorrow's going to be a TA Q&A day. Hopefully we can get a little green in the market so people are a little bit more energetic and positive. I feel fucking fantastic. It's Nick Foles Day. It's Big Dick Nick Day. Reliving Super Bowl 52. The Eagles are going to destroy the Atlanta Falcons. I want to see a win by at least 10 points. At least 10 points I want us to win by tonight. I want to fucking school them. And I will say, given that Detroit lost, San Francisco lost, and Dallas got obliterated at home by the Saints, it is a gift on a platter being given to us that if we go 2-0, I think it's us and the Saints. And I don't know if there's any other 2-0 teams. Maybe the Seahawks. I don't know if they lost week 1. But we're traveling in New Orleans next week. I don't want to look ahead, but that could end up being a pretty good game. So, all right, guys. The FOMC meeting, I don't know. I think it's tomorrow. Interest rates, I know this. The interest rate decision is being communicated on Wednesday. Maybe the FOMC meeting is tomorrow. Again, real quick, let me hit on this, and we'll hit on it on Wednesday. Whether we do a 25 or 50, I lean towards 50. Whether we do a 25 or 50 basis point cut, it's all noise. It doesn't matter at the end of the day. The reality is, if you have a macro view similar to myself, you know that you have these interest rate and liquidity cycles. Interest rates go up and down every roughly 4 years. We're heading towards much lower interest rates next year, around 2 to 2.5% in my opinion. In fact, I would actually give a higher probability that we're at 1% interest rates next year versus 3%. I don't think we're going to be as high as 3%, 2.5% by next year. So whether we do a 50 basis point cut or 25 basis point cut, it doesn't matter. It doesn't matter because, again, I have a vision of this macro path that is being paved for us. So it doesn't matter. But we will find out. All right, guys, until next time, let's all spread awareness and let's carry the education forward. Take care. Go Birds.